Hello, everyone. Welcome to the launch of Intelligent Authentication Suite by Wibmo here today. I welcome each and every one of you who has joined us today for this launch. Before I start, I have a quick question that I want to ask this enlightened audience. Do you know how many transactions are disrupted by frictionful authentication in India today, maybe daily or monthly? A quick number, 12? Good. थोड़ा ज़्यादा हाई बोला. But yeah, it's it's 12 million transactions which gets disrupted due to frictionful authentication in a month in India, right? And this is 3% of the overall cards volume that we process here. During, during festive season, right, 70% of the customer drop off from their authentication journey due to friction in authentication in India, right? These are primarily driven by delay in receiving the OTP or multiple redirection hops that exist in the ecosystem today. Do you also know in financial year 2024, more than like 4,400 crore worth of money is lost by our banks in India due to phishing attack on OTPs. Like, these are jaw-dropping numbers for sure. From here, that is why we here at Wibmo says that failed authentication isn't just a lost payment, it is a lost customer for the merchant and for the bank. Authentication doesn't just impact the customer, it also impacts the merchant and the bank, who are an equal contributor to the ecosystem. Poor payment experience and frauds leads to loss of trust for the customer, which translates into loss of GMV for the merchant and loss of credibility for the bank, as well as increase in disputes and chargebacks for the bank that happens as a byproduct of it. We here at PayU believes in 4 core principles which should define the authentication experience. It is speed and trust for the customer and security and compliance for the banks. That is why we believe in building an ecosystem solution. Wibmo has been a leading authentication technology services provider in the country today, right? And it is built on these 4 principles that we just talked about. Now, with these in mind, we want to talk about the latest regulatory guidelines which has been released by a regulator, which basically transforms how authentication is done on cards in India. Plus, at the same time, we also don't want to miss the global shift in technology which is coming across the world, and we don't want to miss that bus. And just to give you a number, it is expected that in 2025, by end of 2025, more than 3 billion plus passkeys will be registered across the globe. And with that, if you're able to transform or fast track how authentication is done and reduce the authentication journey from existing 50 to 60 seconds to just a couple of seconds, it will be very, very transformative. And at the same time, you will also be able to prevent the phishing attack which happen on the traditional authentication methods that exist in the ecosystem. With this, the question that we should ask is, what's next for authentication in India and beyond? Here, ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you Wibmo Intelligent Authentication Suite. Wibmo Intelligent Authentication Suite is built on the 4 guiding principles that we just talked about. Wibmo Intelligent Authentication Suite allows the customer and the bank to authenticate themselves using fingerprint or Face ID, which are the biometric authentication. They also allow the customer to authenticate themselves via swipe to pay or TOTP inside the bank app. And the traditional, the workhorse of the authentication industry, the OTP, will still continue to work as it was. With that, I would also want to tell you one flow, right? When I transact as a customer, essentially I can start my journey from 2 legs. One, I can go to an app of a leading e-commerce giant in the country, or I can visit their website. So with players launching solutions right, left, and center, we here in Wibmo is bringing a solution which will cover authentication, not just from app or browser, but the 100% coverage for from all the channels where a customer can come. With this, I will hand over the dice to my colleague, Rohit Kataria, who will take you further with the passkey solution that we're launching.
So thank you, Rahul. Hello, everyone. I'm Rohit Kataria, and I'm part of the product team here at PayU. So as Rahul called out, multiple challenges being faced by all of these entities who are basically present in this business. For example, issuers, merchants, or end customers. So in order to basically get rid of all of these problems, we are basically launching our solution, which is a Wibmo passkey solution. So this is basically an issuer-led solution where we are trying to come up with this problem statement. We are trying to solve up this kind of the problem statement where, for example, a customer who is doing the transaction via OTPs into the scheme of things, then how we can basically empower that solution where customer can do the transaction via biometrics or any other form of the specific authentication mechanism, which basically device supports. So our solution is basically a low-code, no-code kind of the solution where, for example, banks and merchants are not required to make any kind of the code level changes, which means there won't be any additional hassle for the development. Having said this, our solution is also going to offer seamless fallback, which means by any chance, if customer is unable to do the transaction via specific authentication mechanism, which basically device supports, then we will immediately detect that and going to fall back that user on the traditional manners, which means the customer would be able to do the transaction via OTPs. We wanted to make sure that there should not be any kind of the disruption in the business, which means that there will be a kind of a win-win situation for every entity who is basically present in this ecosystem. Last but not least, our solution is basically being riding over the 3DS protocols, which means that our solution is not breaching any kind of the guidelines. Our solution is being following all the guidelines of Indian regulators and FIDO. Now, a few specific value propositions we would like to call out that with this solution, we are basically envisaging that there will be an improvisation of almost being 200 basis points success rate, right? Now, for example, into the scheme of things, when a customer who is basically dropping off just because of a couple of challenges, now that drop-off is going to be get reduced. We also see that now when a customer who is basically spending close to 50, 60 seconds in order to do the transaction, now that transaction time is also going to be optimized by 10 to 15 seconds. So that's a few of the very specific value additions we wanted to explicitly call out for all of you. Having said this, we would like to show a quick demonstration of this solution. And for that, we would like to invite MasterCard team, who are basically our launching partner in this solution. So please welcome Mr. Rajesh Chopra, Senior Vice President of MasterCard Services Business.
We would also like to welcome Mr. Satya, VP MasterCard, on stage with us, Mr. Shantanu Shirke, VP MasterCard, and Mr. Shunjan Nupur, Director Channel Partner for MasterCard, on stage. And we would also request our esteemed CEO, Mr. Shailesh Paul, to be here on stage with us, and Siddharth Sehgal, who is a VP Product, to be also there on stage with us.
So ladies and gentlemen, let us quickly play the demonstration for all of you guys.
We would invite Mr. Rajesh to say a few words for the solution.
Again, first of all, thank you very much, for inviting us here. And it's a great opportunity to work with the larger team. And the kind of innovations we are really seeing nowadays on how we are really authenticating, and that too in a real-time basis is really a food for thought. We would have never imagined few years back and where we are today. I'm sure the pace at which this digitization journey and security journey is moving, MasterCard is really willing to take this further and partner. But thanks a lot. Thank you very much. It's a great to be part of this overall engagement and project, and looking forward to maybe newer horizons in future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Siddharth, yeah.
No, I think a great move, a great step in terms of making authentication, the entire payment experience a lot more frictionless. Being at the same point in time, riding on top of 3DS rails, being EEV compliant, excellent step, and I think we're looking forward to working with the team to continue to do more such work in the team. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Finally, I would like to invite my colleague Anand to represent the remaining part of our solutioning. Anand, over to you. And thank you, everyone.
Okay, am I audible? Thank you, Rohit. I hope we're all excited to see the launch of Passkey. Yeah? So I think how it can revolutionize the authentication experience. But I would like to bring attention on something different to what we have just saw, right? How about a personalized experience for a customer, wherein they don't need to step out of a merchant app, offering them a native journey wherein they can authenticate the transaction via biometric without having to step out of the merchant app. And all this end-to-end transaction is happening in a flash, that is within under 10 to 12 seconds, right? Introducing flash-based solution, which is, sorry for this. So introducing flash-based solution, a lightweight, low-code SDK-based solution that offers biometric authentication right inside the merchant application. And it works on existing 3DS rails. That means it is interoperable across all the networks, and it supports guest checkouts and safeguards out of the box. That means no separate integrations needed, and everything works like the way it works today, right? Giving a comfort to the bank, right? Especially on that who is authenticating it and what is the comfort or visibility that they see, right? This is built on the issuer platform itself. That means the bank has full control and visibility on how the solution is operating, authenticating the customers, the audit trail, everything is there. It offers true user verification. That means comes with a pack of security features that track the device binding part of it, SIM binding, the app intactness, the biometrics part of it, ensuring the customer who is enrolling for it is the same customer who is coming and authenticating the transaction. So pure peace of mind. It comes with native OTP experience. We understand it's a new solution. The adoption is a journey for a customer, right? So the biometric authentication will happen, but in case there's any issue, there's a seamless fallback to OTP. An existing flow will work as it is. Coming to merchants, what does it sound for a merchant to integrate such a solution, right? It's a simple plug-and-play SDK. Size is under 400 KBs, right? They just need to simply integrate the SDK, and that's about it. They're quickly onboarded on the system. For existing merchants who are using a 3DS SDK, they simply need to upgrade the version. And that's about it. The solution is ready to go live, authenticate the customers. We'll just see a quick demo on how the solution works, but I'm really happy to announce that very soon you'll see this solution live with one of the largest issuer and one of the largest e-com players. Thank you. I guess the music is missing, so I'll have to voice it over. So this is how the checkout experience will look like where a customer is doing a transaction. I think it's going pretty fast, so I'll have to pause it, I guess. Okay, I think it went by in a flash, so that's why it's flash pay. All right, let me just show it. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Okay, this is where all the magic lies, you know. Instead of seeing a native OTP authentication page, a customer simply needs to tap on the confirm payment, give a biometric, and that's about it. The transaction is authenticated and authorized, and the payment is completed. You don't have to get out of the merchant app at any point of time. Okay, moving on now. So we have talked about how the experience can be handled on the merchant application. But what is beyond for the customer, right? Can we bring that same or similar kind of experience on the banking app? Yes, we can certainly do that. Like Rahul mentioned, we are building an ecosystem here, not just a single solution. That means our solutions are for merchants, for banks, for everyone. Talking about the bank in-app authentication solution, available in the form of SDK as an API, wherein the authentication solution sits inside the banking app now. That means whenever a customer is transacting anywhere, everything gets authenticated right inside the comfort of the bank app, and so that the customer transaction is completely secured. The bank has complete control over it. And yes, there's more to it, right? We have all been talking about biometrics, but what's beyond biometrics, right? We have soft tokens, we have swipe to pay, we have other modes of authentication. Everything can be facilitated inside this banking application, wherein the customer has a choice or a bank can provide a choice on how the customer authenticates. It is really useful for especially the scenarios where the transaction risks are pretty high and we want to take up multiple forms of authentication and not just rely on one factor of authentication, right? But wait, there is more to it. Not just the card transactions that I'm talking about, this can even be extended to non-financial use cases, wherein if a customer is doing a P2P transfer or they're changing anything basically in a card controls, asking for a replacement card, everything can be authenticated by a single SDK with the authentication mode of bank's choice. I think that's the beauty of this solution. Very soon, you will see this experience going live with IDFC Bank app. And here's a quick demo on how the solution works. So as you see, now instead of an OTP page, they will see a custom authentication page wherein they will get a notification right from their bank app saying that please go to your bank app and authenticate the transaction. Customer simply needs to tap on the push notification, log into the bank app, and do a swipe to pay. It is as simple as that. And by the time customer goes back, the transaction is completely done. So no need to even worry about it that I need to go back or check something. No. Just go to your bank app, do a swipe to pay, and that's about it. No action needed on the merchant application at all. I would now like to call upon Mr. Amit Thakur, sir, Head of Business Projects, and Mr. Neeraj Doshi from the Strategy Head of IDFC to come up on the stage and say a few words. Shailesh, I would also request you to come on the stage, please. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. A few words.
Start, sir. So I'll actually have a quick anecdote, and I don't know whether Shailesh remembers this. 15 years back, when both of us were working with Visa, in Middle East, he came to help me out with a project where we were supposed to ensure international customers know that they can use the same PIN for ATMs when they use the card locally or abroad. So the complexity at that time was how to make customers understand that you have a 4-digit PIN which can work in India or UAE or America or Dubai, anywhere, with the same card. From that complexity of PIN and hundreds of passwords, and over the years, in the last 15 years, the world has changed. Customers have hundreds and thousands of passwords and PINs and so on and so forth. Nobody wants to remember anything anymore. So I think these solutions where everything is frictionless is amazing, and we'd like to thank Wipmo for being great partners so far. And hopefully we'll make lives easier for customers and forget everything. No PINs, nothing. Pay and go.
So I think in this fast-moving landscape of payment, right? All the customer need is see the transaction should be seamless, secured, and simple. I think with this kind of a team, we are trying to solve with a lot of partnership work we are doing with Shailesh and team with Wipmo, and all this lovely people out there helping us to develop things for the customers and users. And looking forward for this great partnership. And good luck to every one of us. Thank you.
Right. Right. Thank you, everyone. I'm Vivek. I'm going to take just a few minutes to conclude the discussion. Thanks the GFF team for supporting us. So now that we're done with the wow part of the presentation through the different demonstrations that we have, I'll just like to take a minute to talk about the core backbone of our solution, which is the authentication orchestrator. The authentication orchestrator is what makes our solution truly powerful and reliable for all banks. It allows configurations of all different form of authentications that we just saw easily for the bank to be done across different channels, different card types, and different user types. It enables intelligent routing, which means that depending on the data collected at the time of transaction, saying which geography is coming from, what merchant category is coming from, what sort of device is being used, the system automatically detects the best form of authentication to be given to the user at that point in time to ensure complete conversion. A built-in RBA platform not only allows risk rules to be set up for the banks, but also allows step-up authentication to be done for high-risk transactions or high-value transactions. Easy merchant and user controls, allowing merchant whitelisting and user hotlisting, and a very seamless user consent management platform, which allows users to easily opt in and opt out of any form of authentication that they would like. So let's just quickly summarize. What are we looking at as the impact over here? Through the three solutions that we've seen, we easily expect 4 to 5% increase for the authentication success rate in the ecosystem. That would be around net 1 to 2% of the net transactions, of the net percentage. That doesn't sound too much, right? But when you multiply it by the 200 million transactions happen monthly, that's still a large volume that's worth saving. On top of that, we've completely reimagined the user experience, as you could see in the demo, completely removing the dependency on OTP and also bringing in the transactions in a lightning-fast manner, reducing the latencies by 80%. Not only have we reimagined the user experience, but we've also further reinforced the security of the solution by building in strong defense against frauds, phishing, and wishing. Lastly, what I'd like to just conclude is that the three solutions that we discussed, the passkey solution, the flash pay solution, and the bank in-app solution, together are now helping us upgrade our existing market-leading ACS solution to prepare India for the next wave for digital transactions. And we are not going to just stop at cards. We'll be working soon on different other pay modes as well, which includes net banking, wallets, and BNPL. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your patience. I'd just like to call our CEO, Shailesh Paul, just to say a few words and to conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Vivek. Firstly, thank you for taking time out to come up and join us for this big launch for us. I just want to end with a few key thoughts. We think of ourselves in the business of trust, reliability, and security. And trust is what has happened. A manifestation of that is going through the OTP loop. I know we all have our likes and dislikes about that. But here's where we're going from here. Can we make trust stronger? Yes, we can. Because of what the product team just showed you, you can see that actually these set of solutions make the same transactions more secure by a meaningful number. Can we make it more reliable? Can we offer it at better scale? Yes, we can. Because now when you're shopping for something on the Flipkart Big Billion Day sale or the Amazon season sale, and when you really want to get through, or you're just trying to book a taxi or get your next food order, you can actually do that faster at scale. And because there are fewer friction points, the merchants that sell millions of sales every day will be just better off. The banks that are getting millions of sales every day, and when we're hitting the peak volumes of 1,000 DPS, it's actually going to work better. So that's the second piece of it. And can we make it more secure? 100%. Because this is improving on what we had through OTPs and the conventional methods. So in summary, this is a big step forward. We think that this is going to be helpful for everyone in the industry. I just want to call out that RBI's regulation said something which is very important. It wants issuers to provide more options to their customers. You've seen a range of options today. It wants issuers to be risk-based in their decision-making, and we've heard a little bit about that today. Now, the question is this here and now? Yeah, absolutely. So we've got ourselves in the room. We can start conversations here and now. In fact, some of the solutions already been implemented. We wanted to wait for the RBI to make its announcements and its clarity. We wanted to do it at this really important event, so it's here now. We'd love to collaborate with you in terms of moving this out much faster. And I just want to say finally a thank you to our product teams, our partnership teams. But this is part of a larger whole. We have in the room our PayU colleagues who work with the largest sellers in the country. We have our technology team. So this is a fairly seamless offering. And the good news is that there is probably no other entity that can provide the coverage as it relates to the seller side of the ecosystem, serving the FIs that we do so well, and everyone in the middle. So this is something that's a big step forward, and I'm really happy that you could be here. Thank you so much for your partnership.
Thank you so much. And a hearty congratulations to the team. Well, that was a wonderful array of collaborations that we saw.
Sorry, if you don't mind, sorry, just a quick thing that I missed to mention. I just wanted to also say thank you to the banks that are already in implementation, IDFC First, Axis Bank. There is a set of banks that are already in implementation, and some of the large merchants. So just a quick shout out to you. Thank you.